So fascism was coined a phrase. The originators of fascism, uh, meet Mussolini and Hitler. So Mussolini came to rise way before Hitler, and he was a popular strongman of Europe. And Hitler was rising into power when it came to Germany, but Hitler admired Mussolini. Hitler emulated Mussolini, and eventually Hitler took command of the fascist movement. So fascism originated from that era in political science between Vito Mussolini and Hitler. And you know what I noticed? For 4 years, the media calls Trump a fascist. The media reports on Trump because of his demagoguery of fascism. And Trump doesn't deny that he's a fascist. He doesn't deny it. To this day, since 2015, to this very day, we're already in 2023, and he's running for re-election for 2024. And Trump has never, ever argued against or, or condemned the fact that they call him a fascist. He acknowledges it by not rebuking it. You think somebody would take offense to be called a fascist in America? You think somebody would say, "I'm not a fascist. I'm never a fascist. I condemn fascism." You think he will stand up against fascism? But no, he acknowledges it and he accepts it. He accepts it for his movement. Antifa stands for anti-fascism, and Trump considers them his enemy. He never he never said, "Oh, I'm not a fascist." Antifas. You hear him arguing with Antifa saying I'm not a fascist? You ever hear Trump interview or rallies say I'm not a fascist? No, he knows he's a fascist. He doesn't deny it. He doesn't argue against it. He embraces it, and that's dangerous in this country. That's real dangerous. I got a feeling Trump is going to unravel this country into a civil war, and that might have a domino effect and commence World War III throughout the world, especially in this time where Putin is heavily engaged with Ukraine. If America becomes for 2024 bogged down in a civil war, Putin will definitely attack NATO. China would attack Taiwan. North Korea would engage South Korea. Japan, Australia will be pulled into the war. There's a chance that Israel might attack Iran and Pakistan attack India. The probabilities of nuclear holocaust is a strong possibility of nuclear incoming engagements between nuclear armed nations attacking each other with nuclear hypersonics or conventional nuclear missiles. So it's dangerous when America flirts around with Trump fascism. It's real dangerous. And for people not to see it for what it is, it's like we're doomed to repeat history if we don't recognize it. If we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. Trump fascism is a clear and present danger not only to America, but to the global community as a whole. The high probability of this happening is most likely, and that's what's scary and frightening about the situation. So when we have democratic leaders sticking up for the Bill of Rights, that all humans, all humans are created equal with unalienable rights. All humans are created equal with unalienable rights. This fascist party of Trump, the corrupt delegate system, denied Hillary Clinton her victory. She had 3 million more votes than Trump, but the corrupt gerrymandering of a fascist party denied her her victory. They were trying to repeat the same thing in 2020 when it came to Biden. They're going to try to duplicate and attempt it for a third time in 2024. Trump fascism is a ticking time bomb. And the international community should be at high alert. Because if America falls into a civil war, the probabilities of World War III is at the highest it can be. And I worry about defending all nations from nuclear destruction. That's why I dedicate my life to creating an umbrella to shield all nations from nuclear destruction. And when Trump fascism bears upon me to the point that I can't stand no more, I rise up and I say, let freedom ring. That all humans are created equal with unalienable rights. And this alt-right movement of fascism reminds me of the fascism era, origins of World War II. To this day, to this very day, Trump has never denied that he's not a fascist. He embraces it with his banner of self-anointed revolutionist of a fascist movement. So when I have to deal with shielding all nations from nuclear attacks, shield them from nuclear missiles, shield all nations from nuclear destruction, I am warning the world that America is in high alert. Right now you got Putin for the second time embroiled in a Ukrainian war. If in 2024 Trump drags down America into a revolution of his fascism and America breaks out in a civil war, Putin will take advantage of that. And he would engage NATO. Xi would attack Taiwan. North Korea would attack South Korea. Australia, Japan will be dragged into the conflict in Asia. Pakistan will confront India. These are scenarios and nuclear armed nations we're talking about here. Trump is the fascist of the 21st century, and he's capable of dragging the world into World War III. And for the American people to be short-minded, narrow-minded, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Congresswoman Boebert, McCarthy, Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, for these representatives to be all on board on the Trump train, driving this nation closer and closer to a civil war of fascism, is a dangerous recipe for destruction when it comes to the global order of peace. For that, I rise up and ring the warning bells within the United Nations. I don't take lightly the responsibility that I bear upon myself to defend all nations from nuclear destruction. And if Trump has to be charged in The Hague, if he happens to drag this nation into a civil war of his fascism, and if it breaks out World War III, Trump will be held in The Hague and executed for war crimes upon humanity. The Bill of Rights teaches us to respect that all humans are created equal with unalienable rights. And the worst atrocity that I can ever imagine is fascism, causing a domino effect and nations having to be dragged into nuclear destruction because of Trump's vanity. That I cannot swallow. That I cannot condone. That I will not accept.